Hi, I'm Cheryl Brunette, and in the last episode, I showed you how I worked in the yarn ends in each of these corners of this afghan. Those were 100 yarn ends, using the garter stitch duplicate stitch. But there were a couple of occasions when I had to join new yarns right in the middle of a block. And rather than leave the ends hang, I joined them with the venerable spit splice, more gracefully known as the felted join. Let me show you how to do it. It is a very handy tool to have in your toolbox. You start by separating the plies of your yarn. Now I have done this with single ply yarn, and I just tease apart part of the ply. These are two pieces of regular old-fashioned, probably very old-fashioned, 4-ply worsted weight, 100% wool, non-washable, non-machine washable. And I chose these because they will be feltable. The machine washable wools, of course, are treated so that they don't felt, so they're not very suitable for this method, although I have used them. It's not a good strong join. Okay, I want them roughly the same length, and I'm going to break off 2 plies from each of these pieces. Let me try to break as closely as I can. All right, it's wool, so I can break it. Of course, you can't even break off some yarns. And let's say this is the yarn that I've been knitting with, and this is the new one I want to join. And ordinarily, of course, it would be the same color, but in this case, I wanted you to be able to see that. I'm going to, these nice tapered ends, I'm going to overlap just a little bit from into the full 4 plies, and I'm going to just wrap these up a little bit and kind of twist them. You don't have to do that, but I like to wrap them in the direction of the twist of the other yarns, just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to put it in my mouth and wet it. This is the part you can't see, because I'm not sticking my face down here. I'm not sticking my face down here for you to see this process. But I'm just, it's like, it would be like chewing on it. Oops. Now, some people say that you can use water, and I suppose you can, hot soapy water. But first of all, your spit is usually with you. Oops. Although it's fuzzy. And second of all, there's something about the viscosity of your saliva that helps this join work. Then you rub it on a rough surface, like if you're wearing blue jeans, that works really well. This cork surface seems to work pretty well. You can rub it between your hands. What you want is some friction to join these guys together. Okay, and frankly, if you're using this in the middle of a knitting process, this join is going to be locked into stitches. You can see that it looks skinnier than the rest of this stuff because it's wet. I mean, it looks like a wet cat. It happens. But later, here's another example. Once it dries out, it fluffs up to regular size. Now, this is not a particularly strong join. I'm not sure, or at least the way I do it. I suppose if you felted the heck out of it, it would get much stronger, but I wouldn't use it to tie a schooner to the dock. In fact, I'm going to pull now to see how good this, it's actually pretty good. There's a lot of strength in there once it's dry. I've never tried to pull it apart before. Okay, so there you have it, the felted join. Now when you use a single ply, this is an old brown sheep that I've had around for so long. I saved this so you could see it. This is brown sheep. Notice the color's M71, and the dye lot is number 1. But I tend to like these single ply wools. I don't know, I just always have. And I just pull it apart like that. There are no plies there, but you just grab about half of them and pull them apart, and you can do the same thing. And this actually felt very well. I even used this amazing yarn. Now, some people say that you have to have 100% animal fibers, but this amazing that I made the Afghan out of is only 53% wool and 47% acrylic, and I was able to do it. Again, it wasn't a very strong join, and this is kind of a fuzzy yarn, and that helped to facilitate that. But again, it's a single ply, and I just kind of coaxed it apart, and the knitting itself caught it, so that gave it a strong enough join. So there you have it, an easy, invisible way to join feltable animal fibers so that you don't have to work in yarn ends later. Next week, I'm going to show you how to join non-feltable fibers like cotton, bamboo, acrylic, silk, using the Russian join. It's an invisible join. You won't have any yarn ends to work in, and I hope you'll join me then. See you soon. Spit splice, spit splice, split. She split the splice. Sorry.